President Muhammadu Buhari has promised that his administration will uphold the freedom of the press in order to deepen the nation's democracy. The president made the promise through his senior special advisor on media, Mr. Femi Adesina, at the National Delegates Conference of the Nigeria Union of Journalists in Abuja. The president urged the media to partner with his administration for national development.
This is the 5th Triennial Delegates Conference of the Nigerian Union of Journalists. They are here to elect new leaders that would run the affairs of the union for the next 3 years.
Representing Mr. President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Buhari.
However, before the commencement of the election proper, dignitaries at the ceremony took turns to comment on the state of the Nigerian media.
In the 8th Assembly, as part of our legislative agenda, we will work with you as a group and as individuals to put together the legislations that will enhance the value of journalism as a profession, to improve the quality of life for the journalist and protect the journalist and his family. The Nigerian people in return expect the media and journalists to give them truthful, balanced, and verifiable reportage.
Journalists put themselves through difficult, often uncharted channels to ensure that democracy has its highest expression. It is thus incumbent on us, the custodians of this democracy, to bring to the fore viewpoints that will enhance the productivity and efforts of these professionals.
The conference provided an opportunity for the presidency to assure the media of his cooperation.
There was a time in this country when the more of adversarial journalism you practiced, the better you did. He believes that in this era, we don't need that again. Rather, we should be partners. That does not mean that the media cannot be critical of government. They can and they should when necessary. But then they should see themselves as partners in building and developing our country. He said, I should assure you that under his watch, press freedom will be upheld.
As the delegates elect the new leaders of the union, one issue remains paramount on their minds, and that is the welfare of journalists in Nigeria. They will be hoping that the leaders would focus their efforts on improving the welfare of members.
Now, attempts by the Akwa Ibom State Governor Udom Emmanuel to stop the State Election Petitions Tribunal sitting in Abuja has hit a brick wall. The tribunal, in its ruling on the motion by the governor to challenge the jurisdiction of the court, was dismissed as misconceived and misplaced. The tribunal ruled that while the Akwa Ibom State Governor succeeded in terms of proximity to the venue of the election, it failed in terms of accessibility. Our correspondent Amaka Okafor reports.
The governor, through his counsel, Chief Adeboyega Owomolo, had challenged the jurisdiction of the tribunal for sitting in Abuja, the nation's capital, instead of Uyo, the capital of Akwa Ibom State, as provided by Section 285, subsection 2 of the 1999 Constitution. The governor's counsel, in his objection to the sitting of the tribunal in Abuja, argued that his client has been denied fair hearing as provided in Section 36 of the Constitution. He argued that Section 285, subsection 2, is specific that the tribunal shall consider proximity and accessibility to where the election was conducted before the venue for the sitting to adjudicate on any petition can be considered. However, in his ruling, the tribunal chairman, Justice Sadiq Umar, agreed with the counsel to the petitioner that the issue of security is recognized in law in deciding the location where an election tribunal shall sit. Justice Umar also agreed with the petitioner that the issue of fair hearing cannot take the front burner when the security of lives and properties of the tribunal members and litigants are being considered by the Court of Appeal in determining the venue for the sitting.
Impeccable ruling, unimpeachable ruling, and interestingly, it addresses the emerging realities in our nation, because it borders on security issues.
Certainly, it is an interpretation of the Constitution. And you know, the Supreme Court has the best ability, the experience, and the the wherewithal to expound the law in the accurate manner. So we will consult with our clients, and our clients will decide whether we will appeal or we will abide by it.
It's a ruling that should be tested because it's a matter of national significance, and there's been a lot of disputation on that movement. We are not talking about Kebbi State here or Gombe State. No, we are talking about Akwa Ibom, where we had sat for about 3 weeks.
The tribunal therefore held that the objection raised against the relocation of the tribunal from Uyo to Abuja was misconceived, and it is therefore rejected in its entirety. Amaka Okafu, Channels Television News.
Senators elected under the platform of the People's Democratic Party have issued a strong warning to the anti-graft agency not to take advantage of the crisis in the upper house to unleash what they call an unwarranted probe against the members of the National Assembly. A statement signed by Senator Prt.2, a member of the like-minded senators, wondered why the EFCC would be inviting the wife of the Senate President to appear before it. He says the lawmakers are not against the anti-graft body performing their statutory duties, but will certainly resist any attempt to ridicule the Senate. According to him, Nigerians should ask the EFCC what they were waiting for all this while before realizing that they need to invite Mrs. Saraki when she actually left the government house with her husband in 2011. The Senate also alleges that the same witch hunt that the Saraki family is facing is what the Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu is also experiencing. Senator Nwoboshe advised the EFCC to face the leaders of the All Progressives Congress, whom he claims have had their corruption activities catalogued during the election campaign. Now, ahead of the resumption of the National Assembly on Tuesday, Nigerians are looking forward to a new beginning that will see the National Assembly not only resolve its internal crisis, but begin to fulfill its responsibilities as dictated by law. Our correspondent, Loretta Chogo, takes a look at some of the issues that will be confronting the National Assembly on resumption.
After its inauguration on 9th of June 2015, the 8th Assembly has embarked on recess for the third time running. The tussle over leadership positions has been a major distraction for the lawmakers. Reason for the breaks have become a mirage. 2 days after resumption, the lawmakers again embarked on another recess, which lasted for 3 weeks. That would have seen them resume work on July 21st. That's not to be, as once again the National Assembly members moved the resumption day further to July 28th, a situation that is raising eyebrows. In close to 2 months from calculation, the lawmakers have only put in 6 days at work. This is coming at a time when the public is anxiously waiting for laws that will bring about the change in the social, political, and economic spheres. Presently, the new service chiefs appointed by the president are yet to be confirmed by the legislature. Meanwhile, in what looks to be a way in resolving the crisis in the APC, the camp of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, has conceded the position of the House leader to the camp supporting Femi Gbajabiamila.
My very distinguished and amiable colleagues.
But that's not without a caveat that the House leader position will neither come from the Southwest nor the Northeast in the spirit of equity and federal character.
We contributed in the building of this party. It is our duty to ensure that the party survives. And they say it is only a madman that will use the same hand that he used in building a house to pull it down. We're not mad, we're not fools. And I want to discountenance these very ludicrous, laughable discussions that some of us in the House are even conniving with some people so that we can defect. I think only, forgive my choice of word, only a fool would believe that.
It was an APC caucus meeting, APC caucus of the House of Representatives and Mr. President to iron out and fashion out the issues that have come up since June 9th and to find a way forward. And it was a very good meeting.
I think I will just Note.
The leadership crisis is also evident in the upper legislature, where the APC is kicking for the removal of the Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu, a PDP senator. They say a turn down of the offer would mean conducting an election on the floor of the House by the APC members in accordance with the provisions of the House rules. Loretta Chiogo, Channels Television News.
When the news at 10 returns, more on the National Assembly resumption. I'll be joined in the studio by a senior senator representing Cross River State, Senator John Eno. So join us again.